about the medicine ball. Many functional training exercises that we can do with this ball. You're going to cover pretty much every range of motion in your body. Let's get to all the exercises. This is a medicine ball exercise called the X roll. Now what you want to try to do is stabilize your hips. Don't really let them shift as you move into a three-legged downward dog. When you move into the three-legged downward dog, you're rolling the ball back to the opposite foot, forward, across to the other hand, and then to the opposite foot again. You're going to keep repeating this exercise while you try to hinge at the hips and get your hips as high as you can. You want to feel a stretch in your hamstrings, but this exercise is designed to help strengthen your core. This is a reverse lunge. We're going to do this one with a medicine ball. So first thing what you want to do is extend your leg straight back. Step back that foot as far as you can, keeping the heel high. You want to land on the ball of your foot. And when you drop down into the lunge, what you're going to do is just lower your knee towards the ground. And you want it to be maybe an inch or two above the ground at the bottom. You're going to keep the ball here right at your chest the whole time. You want to keep the ball close to your center of gravity. And as you're coming up out of the lunge, we really want you to focus on keeping your body weight on the heel of your front foot, because what we want to do is really utilize your glutes on your front leg. We want that to be the primary muscle group utilized here. Exhaling on the way up, and you can see you can do all one side, all the same side, or you can alternate reverse lunges here like Melissa's doing. This is a reverse lunge with a twist, and we're going to use the medicine ball for this exercise. So you can see Melissa's taking a big step back. She's reaching that foot, planting her toe, keeping the heel elevated high. And when she gets to the bottom of her range of motion, she's dropping her rear knee here, keeping it about an inch or two above the ground. But when she gets to the bottom, that's when she twists her torso, and she's going to use her core as much as she can to twist over the forward leg. She wants to make sure she's twisting slowly to engage the core, twisting all the way back to the center before she comes up out of the lunge. And you can, with this exercise, you can keep it all on one leg, or you can choose to alternate legs. It's up to you. This is a reverse lunge with a press. So we're using the medicine ball again. Melissa's holding the ball in both hands, keeping her elbows in close, torso is tall. As she steps back into the lunge, she's reaching, extending that leg as far as she can without shifting her center of gravity back onto the rear foot. She's trying to maintain a majority of her body weight on the front leg. Now you can see she's dropping down into the lunge, keeping her knee pretty close to the ground, maybe an inch or two above the ground, but she's really trying to keep most of her body weight on that front leg so she can utilize her glutes on her front leg primarily to drive up and out of this position. You can see at the bottom of the range of motion, she's including that shoulder press, right? So this is a very dynamic movement. It's a full body movement that's going to challenge you. And the intensity here, you can change if you want to change. If you want to grab more weight, have your medicine ball, makes it a little bit more or less challenging depending on the weight or the speed. Okay, this is a Russian twist. We're using a medicine ball for this exercise. It's a core exercise. And first what you want to do is lean back into this position with your core engaged. You're going to have a slight bend in your knees. You can keep your feet on the ground, that's fine. A little bit more challenging if you lift your legs off the ground, so that's a modification. But what you want to do is keep the ball at chest height the whole time, and notice elbows flared out to the sides. You don't want to shift your torso all the way over to the side. Instead, you want to try to twist as much as you can, engaging the core muscles, utilizing that transverse plane, and you're just going to touch your elbows to the ground and trying to exhale as you twist, inhale as you come across. This is a sit-up with an alternating toe touch, and we're going to use the medicine ball for this exercise. So what you want to do is lay back with the ball. You're going to keep the ball pretty much right above your head as you go all the way back. You're going to exhale as you do a sit-up out of this, right, out of that position, the laying down position. You're going to lift one leg up as high as you can, and you want to try to touch kind of at the highest point possible. And then you're going to alternate legs each time, so you can see nice, slow, controlled movement. This movement is designed to really strengthen your core and your hip flexors. So try not to go through it quickly. Take your time. This is about engaging the core as best you can. So this is a staggered push-up, and we're going to use the medicine ball. The ball's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay in the same spot the entire time. Okay, kicking your feet back into the push-up position, making sure your shoulders are right over your hands here in the beginning of the exercise. The hand that's on the ground, you want to make sure that as you go down, your elbow stays above your wrist. A hand that's on the ball, this elbow is going to be in a little bit closer to your body. So on this side, we're working the triceps, the deltoids, the chest. Same as on the other side, want to try to keep the hips stable the entire time. Offsetting your body like this provides a unique challenge. Okay, so we've got the medicine ball, and we're also going to utilize the target on the rig. And so what we need to do is drop into a squat, and on the way up, we're going to create a lot of power through our hips, and we're going to use that momentum and velocity, drive our hands up and push the ball all the way up to the target. It's going to bounce off the target a little bit. Keep your hands up, be prepared to catch the ball. When you do catch the ball, you're going to absorb that momentum on the way back down into your arms, into your legs, dropping right back down into a squat, and then you'll fire it right back up again. Ryan, why don't you show them what it looks like? So this is a V-up with a medicine ball. What you want to do is hold the ball in your hands right at chest height. Okay, you're gonna lay back, but as you do, bring the ball up right above your face. You don't need to bring it all the way back behind your head. If you need to create more momentum, you can bring it back behind your head, but ideally you want to try to just utilize your core without getting too much momentum. So Brittany's going to exhale on the way up here, and she's going to try to bring her feet up and meet in the middle somewhere. You can see the timing here is essential to have your feet and your torso come up at the same time and meet in the middle to where you find yourself balancing kind of on the back of your hips. Your lower back is off the ground. Make sure you exhale on the way up and have a nice slow controlled movement on the way back down. So this is a roll under, and we're going to use the medicine ball. You're going to hop your feet back here nice and wide to create stability throughout your core. You're going to want to try to stabilize your hips the entire time through this exercise. Try to keep a slight posterior pelvic tilt to keep your core engaged. And what you're going to want to do is roll the ball all the way out to one side in the push-up position. See, extending the arm all the way out, roll the ball all the way across to the other side. You might need to assist it with your hand, that's fine. We just want to try to extend all the way out as far as we can without allowing our torso or our hips to shift. We really want to try to keep our core engaged the entire time. This is an alternating push-up, and we're going to use the medicine ball. So kick your feet back into a push-up position. One hand's on the ball, one hand is on the ground. The hand that's on the ball, you're going to keep your elbow in close to your body the entire time. And what you want to do with the hand that's on the ground is make sure that your elbow, when you do the push-up, is directly above your wrist. So one arm's in close on the ball, the other one's flared out a little bit wider. You're just going to do one push-up, exhale on the way up, roll the ball to the other side, keep alternating until you start to lose technique. This is a Frogger. We're going to utilize the medicine ball for this exercise. You notice hands directly on top of the ball. You're going to jump your feet back into the push-up position without allowing your hips to drop. You really want to try to keep your hips elevated to not allow the pressure to go into your lumbar spine. Notice a lot of body weight is over the ball right now, so you're really supporting most of your body weight with your hands, trying to stay as light on your toes as possible. It's a very challenging core exercise, and it's also moderately high intensity. So this is a burpee with a push-up, and we're going to use a medicine ball for this exercise. What's going to happen is you're going to drop down into the push-up position, hopping your feet back. You're going to jump your feet forward, up out of the position. As you jump forward, you're landing with a tall torso. You want to pick up the medicine ball without bending your torso forward. So you stay nice and tall here, driving up through your hips. Add a little bit of a hop there at the end, and make sure that you're trying to explode out of this position and hop your feet forward and lift your hands as fast as you can to get your torso up out of this position as quickly as possible. It's a full body movement, very dynamic, very challenging, very high intensity.
Gymaster, trọn gói dịch vụ, trọn tâm tư vấn.